Hello buddies, welcome to Theo's fascinating program. In this video, let's learn how to create Python numbers. So before going with the programs, let's see what is a Python numbers. So Python numbers. So Python number is a data type. So we have three numeric types in Python. One is called int, which we call as an integer. The second one we call it as a float, and third one we called as a complex. So Python numbers, we have a three numeric types in Python. One is called an int, which we call it as an integer. Second one we call it as a float. Third one we call it as a complex. So let's see what is a int. So int or integers is a whole number or a positive number or a negative without a decimal of unlimited length. So the numbers, the whole numbers, the positive numbers or a negative numbers are called integer. So let me show you an example. Let's see an example how it works. So open your Python interactive mode, or you can use your script mode. So I'm just using my interactive mode. So integers. So I'll just give x is equal to, I'll just give it as 10. So now x is equal to 10. So there is it is a whole number. Okay. So even I can give a negative number. Let me give y is equal to minus 20. So even y is a integer. So to find whether the x is equal to 10 is an integer, y is equal to minus 20, to find whether the given value is an integer, we can use the function called type. So I just give the function called type, and I mention my variable name. The variable name is x. So if I mention the variable name, it will tell you what is the data type. You can find the class is integer. Even I can find it for y. So even it for a y, it gives me an answer. It is an integer. So class integer. So int or integer, so is a whole number or positive or a negative numbers. So you can see x is equal to 10, so it is a positive number. Y is equal to minus 20, so this is a negative number. So to find whether you have given the integer, you can use the function called type, and you can mention a variable name, and it will tell you what data type the value belongs to. So x, it belongs to integer, y, it belongs to integer. So this is what we called as an integer. Next, let's see what is an float data type. So float, so you can see float or floating point numbers is the numbers, the positive or negative numbers containing one or more decimals. You can see your example, like I have mentioned, like x is equal to 10, y is equal to 1.0, z is equal to minus 35.59, x is equal to 1.10, y is equal to 1.0, z is equal to minus 35.59. So float or a floating point number is a number. So it is even, it can be a positive number or negative numbers which it contains a decimal point. We call it as a floating point numbers. So we know that I just mentioned x is equal to 10.5. X is equal to 10.5, and I'll find what is the type of my x. So the type of my x is now float. You can find it is a float. Now I just mentioned y is equal to minus 10.5. So I mentioned just minus 10.5. Now I'll find what is the type of my y. I'll find what is the type of my y. Now I can find my type of y is a float. X is a float and y is a float. So the values, the positive numbers or a negative numbers with decimal points, we call it as a floating point number. So this is a second data type in our Python numbers. Third, complex number. So complex numbers are written with a plus b of I. A and b are real numbers, and I is an imaginary number which is equal to square root of minus 1. So let's see how this complex works. So let me give x is equal to 2 plus 8 of, I'll just give it as j. So now let me find what is the type of x, and you can find the answer is class of complex. And I'll give you some other example. So y is equal to 5.5 plus 5.9 of j. Now let me find what is the type of y. So let me find what is the type of y. So type of y is a complex. Now just I'll give another example. Z is equal to minus 5.8 of j. I'll find what is my type of z. Can find it as a complex. So this is how we have to find a complex number. Thank you.